I'm not a lawyer, but there was an all-day hearing for the YSL, aka Young Thug trial. That's coming up soon. And I watched the whole thing so I can fill you in. If you watched my last video, then you know that the YSL RICO trial is scheduled to start on November 27th, and it had 7 co-defendants. But today, one of those defendants took a plea deal. So this is Durante Beebe, and today he pled guilty to criminal gang activity, theft by receiving stolen property, armed robbery, hijacking a motor vehicle, and some other stuff. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison and 10 years of probation following his release. Here's a clip from today.
With respect to indictment 22 SC 183572, how do you plead to conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
How do you plead to theft by receiving stolen property? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
How do you plead to violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act in count 9?
Guilty. Guilty.
You're 23 years old. You've had enough trial in your life at this point in time. Find some new friends, find some new people that are going to be positive in your life. And if they don't add to your life, then you need to cut them loose.
Okay, so that means we are down to 6 defendants, including Young Thug, for this trial that will start again on the 27th. Now, today also consisted of talk about a bunch of motions and the judge deciding when those motions would be heard. But one of the motions was from Young Thug's attorney, whose name is Brian Steele. And Steele has basically said that the state keep bringing in new discovery, also known as evidence, and adding more and more witnesses to their already long list of witnesses. With trial 3 weeks away at this point, Brian is saying this is unfair and all this new stuff shouldn't be allowed in. The state responded basically saying, can we talk about this another time?
Your Honor, we are asking to address any of the discovery issues on November 16th.
I am really annoyed about this, Ms. Hilton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now, I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
exclude a lot more on that date, because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice, that we just kind of keep, well, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
Well, we'll be asked to be heard on the 16th, Your Honor. We'll have all the explanations for the court.
Ciao. Okay, the last thing, and you want to hear this one, is about a motion to dismiss. Now, let me remind you, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to try and break this down. So Brian Steele, Young Thug's attorney, has filed a motion to dismiss all of the counts against Young Thug. And his basis for that motion is because he says the state omitted material elements in the indictment. Watch this clip to see if it makes sense, and then I'll recap.
It's a great issue for this honorable court to wrestle. This is great stuff. Mr. Williams is wrongly charged with 2 criminal street gang violations. Many other people here are charged with that too. The state of Georgia, again, omitted material element. It's unbelievable that this happened, but they omit a material element in that charge.
And what's the material element that they allegedly omitted?
Being in a gang, being a member and associated gang, and committing crimes that are criminal street gang activity is not a crime. It is only when the gang member or the associate commits that predicate crime, the criminal street gang activity, to further the interests of the gang. And you know what's missing from the indictment for every one of these gentlemen? The grand jury never alleged that this is in furtherance of the gang's act. That is a material element. And Your Honor, those are all our counts. And after you wrestle with this, if you agree with it, I'd like to leave with Mr. Williams because he would be cleared. He has no other counts. And it's a great issue, Your Honor. I mean, this is just, exciting stuff.
Okay, so in a very, I'm not a lawyer, but here's a simplified version. One of the important parts of a RICO charge is that actions or crimes are committed to further an organization, or in this case, a street gang. So people are doing things to further their gang. And that's the difference between, say, robbing somebody on behalf of your gang versus robbing somebody yourself. If you rob somebody yourself, that's not violating RICO. If you do it for a gang, that would be. Hopefully that makes sense. So Brian Steele is saying that the state in their indictment failed to allege that these crimes were done to further a street gang, therefore saying these charges are basically invalid. If the judge ultimately agrees with Young Thug's attorney, all of the charges against Thug would be dropped. And that's why he said this is exciting stuff. The judge said he's going to take it all under advisement, so we will wait to hear what he decides. Okay, so here we go. We are already in the thick of this trial. I assume we'll be hearing or seeing a lot more motions before opening statements on the 27th, and I'll definitely let you know what happens. So now you got to tell me what you think. What do you think about the motion filed by Thug's attorney? And if you are a real lawyer, definitely comment and let me know.